People, welcome back to the damn YouTube. It feels like it's been a long time since I've recorded a video. You might have noticed my cheeks are a little bit chubbier than the last time you saw me, and that's because show season is done. Body fat has been gained, and I'm not mad about it. So today, I'm gonna take you through a full day of eating. I'm macro tracking at the moment, so to be honest, I have no idea what I'm gonna eat yet. I've got loads of different foods in the fridge. I'm just gonna make whatever I fancy. I've just finished my training session this morning, which was an upper session. Getting back into training now after having a little bit of downtime post-prep. That is something I wanted to discuss later in the video, what I've kind of struggled with after finishing the show season. Because it's true what people say, after you finish prep, you do feel like you have a bit of a loss in direction, but I'm gonna talk about that later on. We're gonna get straight stuck into meal one. It is currently 9:15, and you know what I'm fancying? An omelette with some salmon and crumpets. Oh baby, it's gonna be juicy. Stay tuned. Alright, so here we have all the ingredients for meal one. What I usually do at the start of the day is cook all my veg in one big batch. We're going with spring onions, tomatoes, courgette, mushrooms, kale, like a posh fancy version of posh fancy version of kale, pepper. That'll be my 3 veg portions for the day. Part of that will obviously go in the omelette that I'm making this morning. And then we've got 1 egg whites for the omelette, as well as some salmon. I'm gonna do those on the crumpets with cream cheese, and then 2 crumpets with Marmite. That's sounding like a pretty fine damn meal. I might throw a bit of fruit in there. I've got some pineapple. Probably do 100 grams of pineapple as well, but we'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna cook this up, stay tuned. I mean, just look at that. Egg and egg white omelette, pineapple, 4 crumpets, Marmite, salmon. And this is the joys of macro tracking, people. You're not limited in the foods you can have, and you know, post-show, I'm craving certain foods, so I like changing things up a little bit. Obviously, we're gonna do a taste test. Oh, I love food, man. I absolutely love food. Omelette, 10 out of 10. Salmon next. Slaps. Marmite crumpet. Just so good. Absolutely banging meal. Macros for this one will be up on the screen. This is meal number 1. Going in at just gone 9:30. Banging. Just out on my daily walk. So at the moment I'm aiming to get in about 8,000 steps still. Nice routine with it. You know, you should go out for a walk early in the morning. Get like 4,000, 5,000 steps done. And I found that recently, past couple of days, just training fasted first thing in the morning, been fantastic for my productivity. Like, it really does set me up for the day. You know, my check-ins more energetic because I've done some exercise prior to. You get that hit of dopamine. Being nice and productive early in the morning. Something I wanted to talk about quickly was the struggles that a lot of people go with post-show, mainly on the nutrition front. Later on I'm going to talk about my own personal struggles, but as this is a full day of eating, we're going to cover the nutrition side of things. So something that I struggled with was saying no to those cravings, because you've not got that initial goal in mind anymore of stepping on stage. There's nothing holding you back from actually giving those temptations. I just really want to go in there and fucking smash a nice cake and a coffee, you know. But the reason why I've managed to stay disciplined and not give in to those cravings and temptations. Firstly, I've got a photo shoot coming up next week, not this weekend, the weekend after. And I purposely booked that in to keep me accountable. I need to stay in relatively good shape, not get too fat, so I actually look decent for those photos. And I've also got a holiday coming up in December, so I want to stay in good shape for that as well. And don't get me wrong, that Sunday when I finished the final show, I definitely enjoyed some good food, some well-deserved food. I basically ate anything I wanted. In my head, that was absolutely fine to do. The couple of days after, I got back on plan. You know, I was loosely macro tracking, so I probably went a little bit over my calorie target. I gained a load of water weight from that initial influx of carbs and the other foods that I had. And, you know, that paired with not being able to train at 100% intensity led to a soft, watery look. You almost trick yourself into thinking that you're like losing muscle tissue. And yeah, like I said, it does fuck with your head a little bit. You know, you start to lose that detail, not become as vascular. So it was a bit difficult mentally to manage. But yeah, after that like Wednesday period, I got back to hitting a specific macro target. And with that, the water kind of dropped off. My scale weight's coming back down slowly. This morning I was at like 83. My lowest of prep was at 78, I think. So I've gained about like 3 to 4, maybe a little bit more kilos. Kieran wants me around like 83 for the photo shoot. So we went on track to achieving that. If I can just keep around this level of calories for now, I'm going to be in a good spot for the photo shoot. And then we're obviously going to do the same drying out process similar to what we did for the shows. My biggest tip for people that are kind of like struggling post show or struggling after a specific diet is set yourself some new goals to work towards, you know, whether that is having a productive gaining phase. Realize that if you gain a shit ton of weight after, you're just cutting the period of time that you can spend in a surplus a lot shorter and ultimately limiting the amount of time you can be building muscle. You know, don't go through that whole dieting phase to then fuck it within the first few weeks afterwards. At the end of the day, food is always going to be there, and if you can just control yourself after that initial diet phase, you're going to be able to run your calories up a lot higher and be able to afford those foods that you enjoy further down the line. So that's what I've got to keep reminding myself as well, because it is difficult. And don't get me wrong, I've allowed myself to have the odd treat here and there, but I just factor it into my calories. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I'm having cookies, ice cream still, but I just allow enough calories at the end of the day to be able to afford those things, because it's about having things in moderation at the end of the day. So hopefully there was some useful tips and a bit of an insight into my mindset post show. Back in the den, I'm thinking next meal we do chicken, potatoes and some veg, and then usually I want something sweet after my meals as well, so maybe a bit of fruit. Decisions. Let's cook something up. I got asked on my Instagram how I do my potato fries in the air fryer, because they do look pretty spectacular, I must say. So we're just going with 150 grams of potatoes. When you get your potato, you want to cut 1, 2, maybe 3. So basically you can cut them down into small wedge-like shapes like that. That's the kind of size you're going for. Although I'm only doing like 150 grams of potato, you can see that like that's a pretty decent amount of size of potatoes. Calories are minimal, fills you up nicely as well. And the reason why I'm not doing too much is because number one, that first meal was quite heavy on the carbs because it was my post-workout. And number two, I want to save more carbs for fucking cream of rice later, the most important one. Once that's done, a little bit of fry light in the bottom of the air fryer. Probably not the best for the air fryer, but my rationale behind it is I'm moving in with Kat soon, so I'm probably going to be getting rid of this air fryer soon anyway. Bung your chips in the air fryer. Now when it comes to actually coating your chips, you can get like an extra olive oil spray rather than fry light, because it makes them go a nice crispy colour. Like the fry light, I don't know why, it just doesn't work properly. Literally like 4 or 5 sprays of that is absolutely fine. And then in terms of seasonings, go with the same seasonings that I used for the veg earlier, which will be paprika and this complete Bardia seasoning. I rave about this all the time, but you can get this massive tub from Amazon for like 4 or 5 quid, I think. So yeah, it's cheap as chips. Cheap as chips. So a little dash of that. Toss it about. Your air fryer should have a chip function. When I press my chip function, it does 195 degrees for 25 minutes, and it will notify me at the half point that I need to flip it. So I just go with that presetting. Whilst that's going, I'll cook up my chicken. The veg is already done. And that is meal number 2. Alright, so potatoes have just gone for the halfway timer. As you can see, looking very nice and crispy. Now at this point, literally just like another 3 sprays, just like that. Probably don't need, shut up! Probably don't need like another 12 minutes. So because I cut them quite thin, this is gonna go on for another 12, but I'm just gonna change that another 8 minutes. Now I'm gonna prepare my chicken. So here we have the next meal. Potatoes, chicken, veg, thrown half an onion in there as well as 80 grams of avocado, some ketchup and mayo on top, salt, pepper, and a bit of Chula hot sauce. Oh my God. I must say, I'm quite impressed with my culinary skills post-prep. I'm being creative with my food now because I've been eating the same foods for the past 22 weeks. I'm enjoying some variation. Probably get to a certain stage in the off season where I do end up just eating the same foods every day, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, it saves me a bit of time because I'm not having to kind of think about what I'm having, but right now, I'm happy to kind of prioritize a bit more time to just cooking and eating my food. Yeah, eventually when calories get super high, I'll just want to keep it basic, probably prep all my meals at the start of the day and do it like that. But for now, this is what I'm enjoying. Calories will be up on the screen as always. This is meal number 2 going in at 12:15. Next meal up. You knew this one was coming. Cream of rice. Best meal of the day. Been sitting in the freezer for the past 45 minutes now. Today we've gone for the blueberry muffin. You can see I've got the melted dark chocolate on top, which is now solidified to a nice layer. Also got the whey paste, it's been sitting in the fridge. Now with this, we're gonna go in with, so we've got 100 grams of cherries and 75 grams of blueberries and then 15 grams of honey. Bash! By the way, I've done a lot of shopping around for cherries in my time. I think the one supermarket that takes the top spot, Tesco's, for anybody that cares. Let's get a little close up of the whey drip going on. Whey of choice today is the coconut cream. Big fan of that one, actually. Probably my favorite in the rotation that I've got right now. Gotta lick the bowl for no other reason than that's some valuable protein I'd be missing out on. Got the finest bee jizz going on top, and then a little dash of cinnamon on top. Splendid, and there we have it. I love this one because it goes blue. It's really satisfying. This is so good. I just know this is going to give me so much joy. Wow, every time slaps. Macros for this meal up on the damn screen. Time to enjoy. Next meal getting cooked up. It's a bit of a rogue one. It's a case of I've got some food left to heat up in the fridge and use up. We've got 2 chicken sausages, 50 grams of beef mince, 60 grams of chickpeas, 60 grams of kidney beans, that same veg mix, and then some salad. That's it. Like I said, very random. So here we've got the chicken sausages getting cooked up. That's my beef, that's my veg, that's my salad, and then the chickpeas and kidney beans. And then also I'm gonna throw in some pickled veg as well. This bad boy was picked up from the local Turkish shop, and pickled veg is absolutely fantastic, not only for flavor to your foods, but for overall gut health, improving your gut microbiome, positive electrolyte balance, improving your digestion. The list goes on of positive benefits you can get from including some sort of pickled veg in your diet. Highly recommend. And you can pick it up pretty cheap from, most supermarkets have like a Polish aisle, or if you've got like a local Turkish shop, or bakkal as they like to call it, then yeah, you're going to be able to get it from there. Most towns have like some sort of a weird Turkish shop, don't they? So yeah, grab your pickled veg, get it in your damn meals. It looks a bit odd, but the smells that are coming from that, this is going to be good, I think. Alright, I'll admit, this isn't my finest creation. But you know what? Once we mix it all together, I'm sure it's going to taste delightful. Something I'm really enjoying at the moment, I saw it on TikTok. Someone did a yogurt and mustard dressing. And I tried it because I was like, that sounds a bit different. And I've been obsessed with it ever since. Like, literally, on your savoury meals, yogurt with mustard, and then obviously like your usual toppings like salt, pepper, etc. And it just works weirdly. Like, I've never been a huge fan of mustard, but for some reason that paired with yogurt works really well. I initially tried it with, it was like a salmon and smashed potato salad. I was like, I'm going to try this with beef and then chicken. And like I said, it works really well. So this is absolutely roasting and it's making me fucking sweat. So firstly, I'm going to open that window. Oh shit. Fucking hell, you nearly fell over. Jesus. What a save that was. Yeah, it works. Of course it works. I've cooked it. The culinary master. Kat and I have been watching a lot of cooking shows recently, like Kitchen Nightmares, goated, and Hell's Kitchen. Gordon Ramsay, he's the man. I just love how he absolutely abuses people. It's brilliant. But yeah, calories for this meal up on the screen as always. This is meal number 4. Going in a little bit earlier than normal, just because I'm pretty hungry. Got a PT coming up soon, so that'll kill some time, and then I'll have my final meal around like 6:30ish. Did I even say the time then? It's just coming up to 4. Bye. So just got back from the final PTs of the night. Bit of a late one. Session ran over, as well as getting some steps in. And this is the final meal of the day. We've got 300 grams of yogurt, I think, 20 grams of whey, 50 grams of blueberries, 50 grams of raspberries. Now when it comes to if you are macro tracking, this is a great meal to have as like your final one to fill in the gaps with your macros, because you've got the protein from the yogurt and the whey, you've got fats which you can add in through almond butter, dark chocolate, and then carbs which you can add in through things like granola, frozen fruit, bananas. You've got your protein, your carbs and your fats, and you can just kind of like slide the dials of each macro to hit your goal. For me, I've got no fats left, I've got barely any carbs. So it's just a case of using a protein source to get it in. And it's like, I want a nice sweet treat at the end of the day, so this works really well. Macros for the meal will be up on the screen as always. You know what, the best yogurt, hands down, is definitely Faye, I think it's pronounced. Phage, however you want to call it. But yeah, that is for sure the best yogurt out there. Nice and creamy. And that will wrap up this evening. I'm gonna do a final wrap up of this video, where I'm at, a little personal update tomorrow. So just wrapping up the edit for this video. It's not actually the next day because I was editing this and I got caught short on time because it was Kat and I's anniversary over the weekend. It's currently Monday, so this is when the video will be going out. And my personal update, where do we begin? So firstly, I kind of touched on it earlier in the video about my post-show struggles, having a bit of loss of direction. I think that mainly came down from not being able to train. Training is such a big part of my life, and when your mind is ready to go, but your body is not ready to go, it is difficult. So having that rest away from the gym and being out of a normal routine, that's where, because I was out of that routine, you slip into that mindset of thinking, oh, it's almost like you just want to press the fuck it button. You have that internal dialogue, that little voice, the little devil on your shoulder just there telling you, go to the Subway, go to Domino's, go on, get what you want, you earn it. It's difficult saying no. I can see why a lot of people fall into that binge spiral. It happened to me last year, and that's exactly why I've not done it this year, because I know what it's like. I know how shit you feel afterwards. So like I said earlier in the video, if you are struggling with that phase, realise food's always going to be there. And if you can just have that self-control for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks, those cravings are likely going to go away. By all means, treat yourself to the odd thing here and there, have it in moderation, but try to factor it into your calories because you will regret it, you will feel guilty. In terms of the plan going forward, I've got the photo shoot this weekend with Team KC, which I'm very, very much looking forward to. And there are some big changes coming to my personal front, both in terms of my own physique development and my personal life, which I will be documenting on YouTube as part of the Size Surge series. So keep an eye out. I'm not going to reveal anything just yet. But in terms of like training for me, I'm going to be full sending training for the next 3 weeks. I should be really training with reps in reserve because I'm probably still not fully recovered from prep. However, Kat and I are going to Cornwall in 3 weeks' time, and it's going to be difficult for us to train. So in my head, I'm just going to bury myself up until then and then just take a week to have that deload when we're in Cornwall. So that is the plan. As you would have seen, got Jamaica coming up as well. So I'm going to do like a little vlog for Jamaica, which would be quite cool. This has been episode 1 of the Size Surge. The diet setup, a little bit rogue, a little bit different, but I'm really enjoying this approach at the moment. It's working well for me. It's allowed me to have that flexibility and freedom. And the app I'm using, by the way, is called Chronometer. Fantastic. It's a little bit more accurate, I would say, than MyFitnessPal. Plus you can see your micronutrient breakdown. You will notice that I've not tracked veg because it stays relatively consistent. It is quite tedious tracking veg, isn't it? Nobody really wants to do it, but I try to have like 2 to 3 servings of veg per day. And like I said, that stays relatively consistent and the calories are minimal. So something I don't track. That is episode 1 of the Size Surge wrapped up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't watched the prep series yet, I've put together a playlist so you can watch them all back if you want to. Hopefully you guys have noticed the time and effort I'm putting into these edits to make them a bit more entertaining, enjoyable to watch, and they're not fucking boring, because I watch other YouTubers and I can't lie, it is boring sometimes. So I'm trying my best not to fall into that category. So let me know if I'm doing a good job or not. And the best way you can do that is just simply by liking the video. All you got to do is scroll down a little bit, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you've not hit the bell notification, hit the bell notification button, and that will wrap things up. I think I've said that for the 3rd fucking time now. If you've got this far, fair play. And I will catch you in the next one. See ya.